Things I want to say about the train journey. First thing is, when I walk to the train in the morning, I used to like rush if I knew that a train was coming because I was scared I was going to miss it. But now I just casually walk because, like business, if you miss the train, there's always a new one. But if we just slow down a bit and make better choices for the long term, you still get on the train and you'll still be able to take advantage of opportunities, and you'll still get opportunities in your business because you never know when the next train's coming anyway. And the second thing is, the reason I love getting the train so much is because you can see what people are consuming on their devices. Like, some people read a book, some people are reading blogs, and some people are on Facebook, some people are on Instagram. Almost like the demographics, because you're getting a snapshot of life in one carriage, and it's really fascinating to be able to, understand what sort of things people are consuming, and then you can start to create content that they will consume. I was going to talk about this. Well, a couple of things. This, I suppose, looking back at the last 8 episodes of The Journey, I know they've been very Brisbane focused and very focused on just the day-to-day stuff that we're doing here. Today's probably going to be no exception to that because we've got basically full day financial planning and strategic planning for the business. So there's going to be a lot of B-roll footage, a lot of footage of the meeting itself without too much going on. So there's probably not going to be that much in the way of takeaways, but I just want to show that, it's not all, business is not really that exciting because it requires a lot of planning, and especially as you're scaling up. For us right now, we're scaling to the next level, and that requires a lot of planning, and it requires some fairly careful consideration of some things. So that's today, and this episode's not going to be really that interesting. I'm not saying don't watch it, but what I'm saying is just be mindful of, are you doing these things in your business? Are you taking the time to strategically look at what your growth needs to look like? Are you looking at your financials regularly? Are you understanding what your growth points need to be? And so that's what we're going to be doing today with Dunk. But first of all, you'll see we're going to have some team meetings, just a quick team briefing this morning, just to keep everyone on track. We've got some travel to look at for the next couple of weeks. But having said that, in the next 3 episodes after this, we got a lot of travel coming up, and that's, I suppose, the real in-depth stuff that we do day to day that I'm going to show you in the next few episodes that we haven't shown you so far. So we're going to be in Sydney and Melbourne, and we've got our team retreat coming up next week. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that I'm keen to share with you guys, and hopefully you enjoy the episodes, and we'd love to hear what you think of the episodes as well. Keep sharing it, keep engaging with us. We love it. So yeah, hope you enjoy this episode of The Journey. Yeah, because it's like a shit sandwich, right? It's like good, bad, good. So you think about the way you structure a sentence. You say, I'm really excited about this, but, and then whatever the thing after the but is the truth. Your brain works like a hard drive. Yeah. And it's made up of all of the pictures of things that have been and things that could be based on what has been. That's the only way you can decipher it, right? So if I say, go jump off a building, most people go, that's crazy, because my interpretation of jumping off a building is that I'm going to go splat at the bottom, and I'm going to snap my neck and I'm going to be dead. Whereas someone who's jumped off a building with a parachute on their back knows that they go pull, rip, and they survive. Because the picture that's in your mind is different to the reality sometimes. Yeah. So because persuasion, usually most people think persuasion's a bad thing, so they think of being sold to or whatever. But now consider that compared to, good morning Alex, compare that to if you drove along and there was a guy who was going to jump off a bridge and you had to persuade the person not to jump. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? Yeah. See, his context is that persuasion is a bad thing for him. Yeah. Because he doesn't want to hurt anymore. Yeah. So that's why he will avoid hurt And you think for him, jumping off the bridge is easier than dealing with the loss of connection or loss of whatever it is that he's losing out in his life.
Say something?
Say something, I'm giving up on you. There you go. On your website, if you haven't got Facebook Pixel installed, I think you need to. Because every time someone clicks on your website, Facebook will track that person for you so you can retarget them. It's a really easy way to engage your audience on Facebook for a much lower cost per click. So if you're going out there to a cold audience attempting to do Facebook ads, you're going to be spending $1, $2, $3 to get someone to your website. Whereas if you've got someone who's already visited your website or engaged with your page, retargeting them with a campaign is pretty powerful. And especially if you then go into a custom audience or a custom conversion, as they call it, where you would only target people who visited a certain page. So for example, if they'd been to your shopping cart, but they had not been to your checkout page, it means that something spooked them or something's happened, so you could go back to them and give them another opportunity, give them a discount, say, hey, do you know we've got the special offer for first time buyers, whatever it might be. And like I know for most people, when they've been on Facebook, they'll go, geez, I was just looking at that the other day, like a car or clothes or a shop or something, and you think, how has that happened? Like, how is that on my newsfeed now, even though I was just talking about it with John the other day? It's because they've got Pixel on the website, so they're picking you up and they're retargeting you on Facebook with exactly the stuff that they know you want to see, because it's more you're more inclined to purchase something from them. So the beauty of that is, if they've already engaged with you on your website and then you're retargeting them with a great offer, they already know you. So it's a warm audience you're starting with. You're not starting with a cold audience, you're starting with a warm audience. And that's powerful, and that'll bring your cost per click down. And therefore you should be able to transact more at a lower price point per advert. Thank you. Doesn't hurt at all to have a conversation. Who knows where it leads? If there's one thing I've learned in my life, is that if you say yes to all opportunities and see where it takes you rather than saying no. Like, don't be dismissive of opportunities. I'm the leader of the brand.
Yeah.
So hence that's why I've got this thing in my face, and Alex doesn't. But there is a team involved in the brand. Like in the world's biggest band, there's always a front man, right? Every business needs a front man. If everyone was around the microphone trying to sing the song, it wouldn't work the same. Unless it's karaoke, in which case it definitely wouldn't work.
Take me back to the start.
Like, Coldplay wouldn't work if everyone wanted to be the lead singer and no one wanted to play the bass guitar. So someone has to stand at the front and take the good and the bad with that as well. Like, take the flack, but take the good. And drive the thing forward. And set the pace, and set the tone, and set the rhythm. And then the rest have to still, like, because Coldplay would be shit if it was just Chris Martin. But when you add the guitar, you add the drums, you add the unique style of everyone else in the band, it works. That's the brand identity. Make sure you set aside enough time in advance to plan for what is to come, to plan for the next quarter, to plan for the next 6 months.
The second thing I would say is face the truth, face the facts early. If you know you got to do your BAS bill and you know you haven't got enough money, speak to your accountant now. Don't wait till the BAS is due. Get ahead of the curve. You'll feel much better for facing the facts early. And thirdly and finally, get some help from someone who's walked the path before. I'm not saying that needs to be us. I'm not saying you need to engage a coach. I'm not saying any of that. I'm not here to pitch at all. I'm just here to say, don't be stubborn about getting help. Don't be scared to ask for help as well. Of course, you can ask here in the Business Owners Club. That's why we're here. And I would love it if you've got any questions about your business growth journey, whether you've just started up or whether you're in existing scaled up business and you're looking to take it to the next level, pop a question below this video. I'd love to hear what's going on in your business and see how I can add more value to you. They're my 3 takeaways for today. If you start to implement those 3 takeaways that I've talked about, you will find very quickly that your strategic planning becomes a lot more simple and your business growth journey will just feel a little less stressful. Have a great day. Any questions, let me know below. See you guys.